Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this occasion, my partner and I from Group 7 Office Administration Class B will deliver a presentation of our assignment. The subject of Business English with the material What the Human Relation with lecturer Ma'am Susan Febriantina SPD MPD. Before starting the presentation, allow me to introduce member of Group 7. My name is Risha Alfianti as moderator and presenter, and my partner
Destinai Ramadhani as a presenter.
Kayla Luna as a presenter.
Okay, for the first presentation will be read by Kayla Luna.
Particularly in workplace setting, because a company depends on good human relations through its organizational structure. Developing these skills is important. Number 1, division of work. Work should be divided in the most efficient way. Number 2, authority. Authority is the right to give order and accountability within those orders. Number 3, discipline. Discipline is penalties applied to encourage common effort, as a successful organization requires the common effort of all workers. Number 4, unity of command. Workers should receive orders from only one manager. Number 5, unity of direction. Everyone in the organization should move toward a common goal and understand how the team will achieve that goal. Number 6, subordination of individual interest to general interest. The interest of one person shouldn't have priority over the interest of the organization as a whole. Number 7, remuneration. Many things should be considered when paying employees, including cost of living, supply of required people, and business success. Number 8, centralization. The degree of importance in the subordinate employees' role in their organization and the amount of decision making that occurs at a central level versus a decentralized level. Number 10 and number 9, sacral chain. This refers to how authority is divided among managers. Number 10, order. All materials and people relate to one kind of work should be organized and neat. Number 11, equity. All employees should be treated equally. Number 12, stability of tenure of personnel. Retention of employees should be high management priority. Number 13, initiative. Management should take steps to encourage workers to take initiative. Number 14, esprit de corps. Managers should encourage harmony among employees. Okay, next material, human relations, personality, and attitude effects. Our attitude are favorable or unfavorable opinions toward people, things, or situations. Many things affect our attitudes, including the environment we were brought up in and our individual experience. Our personalities and values play a large role in our attitude as well. Next, achieve personal success. Material, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence refers to form of social intelligence that involve the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to ask this information to guide one's think and action. Number 1, self-awareness. Self-awareness refers to a person's ability to understand their feelings from moment to moment. Number 2, self-management. Self-management refers to our ability to manage our emotions and is depend on our self-awareness ability. And last 3, social awareness. Social awareness is our ability to understand social causes that may affect others around us. Next, emotional intelligence for success. Example ada positif and negatif. To increase our self-awareness skills, we should spend time thinking about our emotions to understand why we experience a specific emotion. We should look at those things that cause a strong reaction, such as anger, to help us understand the underlying reasons for the reaction. Next, goal setting. Objectives are the shorter than goals we must do in order to accomplish our bigger goals. One of the most popular methods to setting goals is called the SMART philosophy. This includes the following step or aspect to goal setting. Number 1, specific. In other words, being specific allows us to be very clear about what we want to achieve. Number 2, measurable. The goal must be measured. Number 3, attainable. The goal should be something we can achieve. Next, manage your stress. Number 1, types of stress. Stress is the body's response to change. Stress is defined in many different ways, and stress and the types of things that cause stress can vary from person to person. And 2, symptoms of stress. When we identify our stressor and our emotion around the stressor, we can begin to make plans on how to handle it. Okay, next materi, communicate effectively. Verbal and written communication strategies. Emotional intelligence can be improved over time, unlike IQ, which stay stable through life. Emotional intelligence includes knowing and managing your emotions, motivating yourself, recognizing and understanding other people's emotion, and managing relationship. Principle of non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is the process of conveying a message without the use of words. It relates to the dynamic process of communication, the perception process, and listening and verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is fluid and fast, universal, confusing, and contextual. It can add to or replace verbal communication and can be intentional or unintentional. Then I return it to the moderator.
Okay, thank you Kayla Luna. Then the material will be read by Destin Ayu.
Okay, thank you, Resya Alfianti, as a moderator. The next material, the ethical at work. Ethics is defined a set of values that define right and wrong. Values are defined as principles or standards that a person finds desirable. So we can say that ethics is a set of principles that a person or society finds desirable and help define right and wrong. Next. Okay, the next is the levels of ethics, an organizational framework. There are 4 main levels of ethical levels within organization. The first is societal issues. These levels of ethics involve areas of emotional intelligence we have discussed, specifically an individual's empathy and social awareness. The second is stakeholders issues. In this level, business must deal with policies that affect their customers, employees, suppliers, and people within the community. The third is internal policy issues. In this level, the concern is internal relationships between a company and employees. The fourth is personal issue. This deal with how we treat others within our organization. For example, gossiping at work or taking credit for another's work would be considered personal issues. And then I will explain about sources of personal ethics. The first is religion. Religion has influence over what is considered right and wrong. The second is culture. Every culture has a societal set of values. The third is media. Advertising shows us what values should be. And the fourth is models. Our parents, siblings, mentors, coach, and others can affect our ethics today and later in life. The fifth is attitude. Our attitude, similar to values, start developing at a young age. And the last is experience. Our values can change over time depending on the experience we have. The next is understand your motivation. The quality and character of human relation at a workplace impacts how an employee feels his job and interacts with his co-workers. Employees' motivation is important in maintaining or increasing productivity. The next is strategies used to increase motivation. Number 1, salaries and benefit. As we know from our earlier section, our paycheck can be a motivator to a certain extent. It is important to note that when we look at compensation, it is much more than only pay, but things such as health benefits and paid time off. Number 2, training and development. To meet our higher levels, we need to experience self-growth. As a result, many companies and managers offer training programs within the organization and pay for employees to attend career skill seminars and programs. It is great ideas. And number 3, performance appraisals. This performance appraisal is a formalized process to assess how well an employee does his or her job. The effectiveness on this process can contribute to employees' retention in that we can gain constructive feedback on our job performance. Number 4 is succession planning. Succession planning is a process of identifying and developing internal people who have the potential for filling position. As we know, many people leave organizations because they do not see career growth or potential. So companies can combat this by having a clear career path for us to follow. Number 5, flex time, telecommunicating, and sabbaticals. According to Salary.com survey, the ability to work from home and flexible work schedule are benefits that would entice us to stay in our job. Number 6, management training. Managers who bully use the theory act approach, communicate poorly, or are incompetent may find it difficult to motivate employees to stay within the organization. While as employees, we cannot control manager behavior, companies can provide training to create better management. Number 7, conflict management and fairness. Perception on fairness and how organizations handle conflict can be contributing factor to our motivation at work. We will likely look at procedural justice or the process used to determine the outcomes received. Next. Okay, the next material is work effectively in groups. Group communication may be defined as the exchange of information with those who are alike culturally, linguistically, and geographically. Group members may be known by their symbols, such as patches and insignia on a military uniform. Group members may also be known by their proximity, as in gate communities. Effective group meetings. Virtual meetings are formally arranged gathering where participants located in distinct geographic location come together via the internet. Number 1, preparation. If you are planning an intense work session, you need to consider number 1 of possible interaction among the participants and limit them. Each member has a role, and attention to how and why they are interacting will produce the best results. Number 2 is conducting the meeting. The world is a stage and a meeting is performance, the same as an interview or speech presentation. If you can reduce or eliminate the storming stage, all the better. Clearly defined agenda can be a productive tools for this effort. The next. The next is make good decision. Decision can be classified into 3 categories based on the level at which they occur. Strategic decisions set the course of an organization. Tactical decisions are decisions about how things will get done. Decision making is choosing among alternative course of action, including inaction. There are different types of decision ranging from automatic, program decision to more intensive, non-program and non-program decision. Decision make a good decision. This is part of self-awareness and social awareness in emotional intelligence. Without these skills, it can be difficult to make good decisions. Okay, I will return it to the moderator.
Thank you, Destin Ayu. Then the material will be read by myself. The material is handle conflict and negotiation. Next. This is negotiation breakdowns. First, understanding conflict. According Walt J.A. and Callister R.R. 1995, conflict is a process that involves people disagreeing. Research have noted that conflict is like the common cold. Everyone knows what it is, but understanding its cause and how to treat it is much more challenging. And second type of conflict. First, the type is conflict is interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict arises within a person. For example, when you are uncertain about what is expected or want, or you have a sense of being to perform a task, you are experiencing interpersonal conflict, and interpersonal conflict can arise because of difference in role. And next, the type of conflict is intergroup conflict. Intergroup conflict is conflict that take place among different groups. Types of group may include different departments, employees unions, or management in a company, or competing companies that supply the same customer. Next. And next, cause and outcomes of conflict. The first is limited resource. Resources such as money, time, and equipment are often scarce. Competition among people or department of limited source is a frequent cause of conflict. Number 2, tax interdependence. Another cause of conflict is tax interdependence. That is when accomplishment of your goal requires reliance on others to perform their tasks. And number 3 is incompatible goals. Is sometimes conflict areas when two parties think that their goals are mutually exclusive. Within an organization, incompatible goals often arise because of the different ways department management are competent. And number 4, personality differences. Personality differences among coworkers are common. By understanding some fundamental difference among the way people think and act, we can better understand how others see the world. And number 5, communication problem. Sometimes conflict is simply out of a small but communication problems such as lost email or dealing with people who don't return phone call. Giving feedback is also a case in which the best interaction can quickly escalate into a conflict situation. When communication, be sure to focus on behavior and its effect, not on the person. Next, manage diversity at work. Diversity and multiculturalism. Multiculturalism goes deeper than diversity by focusing on inclusiveness, understanding, and respect, and also by looking at unique power in society. Most human resource or HR managers said that diversity in the workplace is the first not well defined or understood at work, and second, focus too much on compliance, and the third, place too much emphasis on gender and ethnicity. And B, multiculturalism and the law. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, is a federal agency charged with the task of enforcing federal employment discrimination law. The law includes tools that protect people from discrimination in all areas of employment, such as discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, and disability. And next, be a leader. Next, This is management style. Management style ties is very closely with communication style. There isn't necessarily one management style that is better than another. There are simple different and might be used in a variety of situations. And the first, task style versus people-centered style. This is a manager with a task-oriented style. A manager with a task-oriented style will focus on the technical or task aspect of the job. The concern for this manager is that employees know what is expected of them and have the tool need to do their jobs. And next, a people orientation style. A people oriented style is more concerned with the relationship in the workplace. The manager emphasizes the interpersonal relation as opposite to the task. The manager is most concerned about the welfare of the employees and tend to the friendly and trusting. And next, this is the three types of bad manager. Is the first, the narcissist, second, the hand-off boss, and the third, the manager. Next. Leadership versus management. Leadership captures the essential of being able and prepared to inspire others. Effective leadership is based upon ideas, but original and born with. They are effectively communicated to others in a way that engage them enough to act as the leader want them to act. And a leader inspires others to act while simultaneously directing the way that they act. They must be personable enough for others to follow their order, and they must have the critical thinking skill to know the best way to use the research at an organization disposal. Next, manage your career. Career growth, power positioning, and power sources. This is the technique that may help increase your power position at work. Include the following. The first is be authentic. Be authentic meaning be yourself and stay true to your values and to things you find important. And next, number 2 is refuse to let people push your buttons. This can result in conflict, which does not increase your position power. Make an effort to try and get along with others. And number 3 is develop esteem and confidence. Esteem and confidence will give you the ability to take on difficult tasks, help others, and contribute to the organization. And number 4 is be a team player. Do all the things necessary to part of a team, get along with and help others. Helping others show leadership, ability, and good citizenship. And number 5, be someone that makes others feel good. Make others feel good when they are around you. For example, by being genuinely interested in them. And number 6, develop your communication skills. Develop your communication skill. Work on your written, oral, and and nonverbal language skill, learn to read and understand other body language. And number 7, be visible in the workplace. Don't take credit for other work, but take credit for your own work. Choosing high-profile project that can put you in a position where others your work. And number 8, don't complain. Unless you can also provide a solution, don't complain. And number 9, be goal-oriented and willing to take risks. Focus on goal setting personally and professionally. Show, manage, and language how you can help them meet goal. And the last is have position psychological capital. There are 4 aspects to positive psychological capital: is hope, self-efficacy, optimism, and resiliency. Okay, next. Okay, that's the presentation this time. Hopefully that I and my partner from Group 7 convey can be useful for all of us. If there is a shortage, please forgive. Thank you very much everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.